Yes, success. Hello, we are live. We are talking today about if the eclipses in September are going to affect this bull run that we have going on here. Let me show you a chart. Okay. This was from an email I got from Sama, 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 the financial astrologer. And it's a chart that shows he had showed this chart to us in 2024, and now it is playing out in 2025. We could see uh the light colored line is sort of like the cycles, pretty much every 5 years or so. And then you've got your jagged darker line on top, which is the liquidity. And so, and I'll explain all these terms too, because I know a lot of us are newbies, including myself, at financial stuff. Okay, but because I'm an Aquarius sun, Aquarius and Leo during these eclipses, by the way, are going to deal a lot with finances. So I thought it'd be cool to talk about it. And the question is, we're in a bull run right now, which is a good upswing. And we're wondering, are these eclipses happening in September right now? September 7th is the full moon one in Pisces in tropical astrology. And then if you follow sidereal or true sky, it's in Aquarius, but it doesn't matter. The point is that will these eclipses affect the stock market and affect this bull run, which bull run means going up is good. And bear market, if you ever hear that term, means down. Okay. So Sama, when he sent that chart, let me just show it one more time here. It's showing how we're in an upswing here into 2025, and it's still going up until 2025, and then it's going to go down in 2026. And I want to show you also as well why that will happen too in Chinese astrology. And so Sama, if you're watching too, I like to use Chinese astrology as well to look at and forecast events and forecast timing and things like that. So we'll talk about that as well. Okay, so the bigger picture though, Sama likes to, for example, use the outer planets. A lot of financial astrologers look at Saturn and Neptune, for example, and Jupiter and things like that to see how the markets are going to go, basically. And so what's happened recently is Saturn is a planet of restriction and let's be responsible, okay? Saturn has left Aries, leaving Neptune in Aries. And Neptune's dreamy. It's about inflation. It's about the dreams of being rich from the stock market, for example. And it's also very much about speculation. So Neptune's freed up to kind of do that in Aries to expand these US markets, as we see in the charts. We're expanding. Um, because Saturn being gone now means fewer restrictions, more money flowing. And when you see that chart again, the back or the jagged line, the one in front, sorry, that is darker and jagged, that's the global liquidity, and that means money's flying all over the place. Liquidity is like taken from the the word to make something liquid. So you take an asset and maybe you sell it. Now you have cash. Now you can do something with it. So liquidity means a bunch of cash in the market now. It's flooding the market, right? And so basically there's fewer restrictions because Saturn's gone from Aries and now there's more money flowing into the stocks, into the risky assets like cryptocurrency and things like that right now. Now, the Fed's admitted recently that a 2% inflation rate is not realistic. Okay, what does that mean? That means rate cuts are coming, meaning interest rates will go down. And when that happens, more money can flood the markets. And that's what's kind of showing here in the chart as well. Okay, so interest rates are like when you have to borrow a mortgage, you need a loan from, you want to buy a house, you get a mortgage. You're looking for lowest interest rate. So they're cutting interest rates so that more people get loans, more people get the mortgage, and that can be troublesome as we've seen in some past years. So be careful with that. But the point is, when rates go down, interest rates go down, and you hear that word, uh, oh, now I'm losing my thoughts here. Oh, too much thoughts, too much thoughts. Okay. Anyways, the point is, when interest rates go down, rate cut, you hear that word. That means money enters the markets. Okay. So we're expecting more money to flood the market still for the rest of 2025, pushing upwards until the end of 2025, as we see. So more money, more people spending, more people investing, more people getting loans, and all that stuff. But the short term shows eclipses are very volatile. So during September, I'm not surprised if we hear some shocks, some fears, people scared, sudden changes. The September eclipses could cause some temporary drops and some scares in your investment portfolio. Okay, so it's also hurricane season. And because I talked about one eclipse coming September 7th, that's the full moon one, full moon lunar eclipse coming September 7th. That's in Pisces in tropical astrology, water sign. So I won't be surprised if some big water related event, it's hurricane season. Something like that could also briefly shake up the markets. Short term though. So the bottom line here, folks, is that yes, we're going to have some turbulence and some weird stuff happen in September with the stocks and with everything that, but the overall trend remains up at least until you see the end there. The right there, the end, that peak is still going up until the end of 2025. So there's still time to skim profits off the top of your investments, like I did to go on vacation, and things like that. It's still a going up trend. I think in general, I don't think that, even though September is going to feel shaky for everyone, I don't think this bull run is over. And markets are set to get some kind of liquidity boost too. I know, like Trump and friends have been talking about it. When you do your research, you'll see, even if this ride isn't smooth, I do think that there is, still some more up leveling. But here's where it gets interesting. And I'm going to talk about Chinese astrology now. We are in the year right now, 2025, of the snake. By the way, I'm not just an Aquarius, I'm born in the year of the snake. So New York Stock Exchange and Bitcoin are both born or founded in the year of the rat. And rats and snakes get along because they have a mutual respect for each other. The rat animal respects snake's wisdom, and snake respects rat's resourcefulness. So there is a good jam there, for the rest of 2025. We've seen in previous history that snake years do show liquidity rising, a pump into the markets. Snake years often show wealth accumulation in some way, or growth and secret opportunities, back end things. Cryptos and stocks may surge because liquidity is returning here. But then we get into 2026. Let's look at that chart again, because look at what happens in 2026. It's going down, and I think it's going to be a big crash in 2026 personally, because there's a lot of indicators showing that everybody's going to be all hyped up this year and get their mortgages and do this and do that, and that's fine. But then be careful, because in 2026 it looks like there could be not just a little bit of a dump, but it looks like it could be a really bad dump. Could be. Now, 2026 is the year of the horse. Okay, remember, we're in 2025 right now. Snake, I talked about. Cool, everything's cool. But then next year's the year of the horse. And guess what? Rat is enemy with horse. They clash. Rat, New York Stock Exchange. Rat, Bitcoin. They're going to clash with this horse in 2026. And yes, this regular chart shows that. but in Chinese astrology, it shows that. And then I don't know what Sam has got going for how the Neptune and the Saturn and all that stuff going on, how he would show it. But there's indicators everywhere that we're in 2026. There's going to be things. So liquidity will fall. Bitcoin and New York Stock Exchange could top out and collapse here in 2026. However, this is why we need to reallocate or think about real reallocation for 2026. Okay, let's ride the wave of the New York Stock Exchange and the Bitcoin for a while, but then, you know, maybe in the end of December, start thinking about reallocating into horse, tiger, or dog industries. Because the horse in 2026 gets along, he has two buddies, tiger and dog. So horse, tiger, and dog go together in 2026. If you're any one of those signs, born in one of those signs, you'll prosper. If you're born a rat, like a year of the rat, you're not going to prosper, and you need to lay low and you need to be careful because it's your clashy year. Just putting that out there. Don't get caught holding a bunch of rat assets in 2026. Okay. On my next video, I'm going to show you an example portfolio for the horse year that you could consider reallocating to. But for now, I'm going to tell you, because we're in the year of the horse in 2026, it'd be good to put it into cyber tech, mobility, and energy. Okay, let's say 65% of your portfolio in there. And I'll tell you something else. Elon Musk was born in the year of the pig, which is clashy this year. That's why he's having a hard time this year in 2025. Pig clashes with snakes. So Elon Musk is having troubles probably personally in his life, and there's been a bunch of, you know, poop happening with him and stuff like that. However, next year, year of the horse, Starlink, SpaceX, those companies that he owns, those are horse companies in the year of the horse. He's going to do better next year. So just letting you know, Elon, if you're watching, next year's a better year for you, especially for SpaceX. So, and I'm going to invest a little bit there. I'm going to also invest into nano and nuclear energy stocks. That's a horse industry in a horse year, 2026. And also cybersecurity. That's going to be a good one to invest in for 2026 as well. Another couple of investments industries that are good are tigers and dogs. So tiger sector is like biotech, healthcare. And then dog sector is the community, the health, and the security. And a lot of it has to do with ETFs in those, like biotech or medical devices. Those kind of ETFs will be very good in 2026. And then, you know, I know a lot of us have NVIDIA because that's a big one, which is a rooster doing good this year. But it'll be neutral next year, kind of a neutral thing going on, but it's not too bad. Like I'll be investing probably 25% of my portfolio in things like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Palantir, and Lockheed Martin and things like that, right? And then the rat assets, New York Stock Exchange and Bitcoin, especially. Bitcoin is the big one about trimming, but not all gone because you still want to prosper. I like to hold Bitcoin as a long-term bet, like a blue chip stock. But a lot of these other ones that I have in cryptocurrency that are affected when Bitcoin lowers, that's a lot about what I'll be reallocating. And I really like Ethereum, but I'll probably trim off some Ethereum too and reallocate like into those other things I talked about. Okay. So on my next video, on my subscriber video on YouTube, there's this one where it's like $3 a month or something, but then you can access my really cool secret videos. I'm going to go deeper into allocation and if you're interested in that stuff, right? And more deeper into the horse year of 2026 and what it means for your money. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think. And I'm, by the way, if you're new to me, I'm Trina, your intuitive guide with a chakra vibe, helping you navigate life's energies. I live in Peace River, Alberta. And guess what? I live near Grand Prairie in Alberta. It's Canada. It's in Canada. And they're supposed to be building anyways, the biggest, the largest AI center, AI data center. So that's kind of neat. And that has a lot to do with the AI stuff. Um, and that should be interesting indeed for our particular community economy and stuff like that. So we'll see how that all goes. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me live. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. And if you're interested in going deeper into your own charts, cards, and stars, let me know. Oh, you know what? Why don't I pull a card for all of us? I forgot. Duh, I'm a card author, by the way, too. So we got the Power of Eight Chakra Lenormand and the Power of Eight Chakra Oracle. And you can buy these on my website here, themoontree.org, themoontree.org. All right, so let's pull let's just see some information through the cards about eclipse season in September and see what happens. Let's just see. All right, so what we do is we shuffle, and when something looks very obvious like this one, that's what I pull. Oh, the Authority. Look at that. And that's a lot with the Saturn card too. Saturn pulling out of Aries and moving away, creating less restrictions. So Neptune can do more stuff and be free to speculate and to dream big and all these kind of things too. But there is an authoritative feel with this card. It could be some new government message to everyone. And this is the Authority. This is literally, sometimes I get this card, it's the tax man. So you know what I mean? This can be definitely the feds, the Federal Reserve and all that kind of stuff. But let's just see what else. That's just one card. Let's pull another one for a little more description on the Authority. Authority. All right. Oh, it looks successful. So, and this is eclipse, right? Because an eclipse is when the sun and moon do things together. So we've got that. This can also be talking about Leo, by the way, because Leo and Aquarius are both on the money line for the eclipses in September. Money on your mind and being responsible with the money. And so when we are investing and things like that and all these things, we should look at all the data, right? And astrology and all these things are just other data points, more data to be able to analyze things better. So that looks good. And this can also mean that the feds give us some kind of successful information. It could be that they're successful in creating more liquidity in the market. So even if September feels quite a bit, weird, just know for the rest of, the rest of 2025 is still pretty good upturn, I think. And then but like I said, towards the end of the year, I'm really going to consider allocating my resources to the horse and the tiger and the dog industries, as we spoke about. All right, let's pull a card from the Power of Eight Chakra Oracle to see what kind of chakra vibes. What kind of chakra vibes for September eclipses and our money and this bull run? I am secure. I like this one. I'm safe. Finding safety, security. And, the more the more safe and secure you feel as well. So this can be a lot about if you're feeling nervous and the eclipse is really like, whoa, making you crazy. Get out your black tourmaline. Get out your dark black rocks, okay? Shanghai, black tourmaline, black tourmaline, smoky quartz, things like that to make you feel safe and secure. and realize this is a 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1, the beginning of a new cycle, right? We are in a 9-year, folks. 2025. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. That's endings. There's big changes here. Bunch of planets in the cosmos have changed signs. They haven't since, World War II and whatnot. I'm just saying, like, a lot of things have happened in 2025 and it's not over yet. And so the best way you can be secure with your finances is to get educated on them, right? And learn new things about your finances and find ways, I have a cousin, one of my cousins bought a huge gold brick. And I was just like so impressed with that. And, it's something that nobody could ever take away from you. You have an asset that he keeps safe and that kind of thing. I think it's good to spread and diversify as well because I think silver and gold are, especially silver, are going to be really great, um, especially silver too. And I think a lot of people are catching on to that. And it's good to buy real coins, not just like paper ones, like the paper or the stock market ones. It's good to have real gold, real silver, because that's something that is not being like they can't take that away from you and things like that too. So you know, just learning about finances and learning about budgeting and learning about investing and learning about how to make more money. And that can those all can be, I am secure. I am secure because I have more knowledge. And is don't they say knowledge is power? All right, so that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. Mwah, 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 and I'll see you in the next one. Come see me for a reading. www.themoontree.org.